Wow, Haason Reddick. Writing was on the wall. It was really just a matter of time. We're gonna pretty much break this thing down into pieces and figure out what really happened. All right. Um, so without further ado, I'm Weapon X. This is the voice of the Eagles show. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles. But enough of that. Let's get right into this live stream. All right, let me give you guys a real quick recap. All right, we all know Haason Reddick was just traded. Okay, he was traded for a second round, a third round pick that could become a second in 2026. I want to give you guys a quick recap, really fast. Of the 2023 training camp, Haason Reddick was rumored to have felt like he had outperformed his 3-year contract after only one season in which he totaled 19 and a half sacks and a breakout 2022 season.
Are you underpaid?
Say it again.
Are you underpaid?
I mean, I ain't going to sit here. I mean, like I said, y'all see it. Y'all know what's going on. Like I said, I'm worried about being the best version of myself and letting everything else sort itself out. True. A lot of people do play for, some people are playing for a paycheck. Me, I come out here every day. I give my all. I go hard. I work. That's what I do. Why? Because I want to be great.
After the 2023 season, in which Haason Reddick had 11 sacks entering the final year of his contract, Howie Roseman gives insight into the contract situation.
Can you give us an update on Haason Reddick? Where are things with Haason? There was a report he was allowed to seek a trade. Do you expect him to be back next year?
Well, I'd say this. Haason, obviously, unbelievable player for the Philadelphia Eagles. Local kid, great success story. Camden, Temple, Philly. Love having Haason. I think that, anything that you're trying to do, you're trying to blend, obviously, what you're trying to do this year and how you're going to look in the future. And I think that's the hardest job. But certainly, don't want to get into any specifics with any conversations with players, but have tremendous respect for the player and the person.
With him, what's the best case scenario?
I think honest communication is the best case scenario with all your players, and understanding where you stand and not being afraid to have open doors of communication and hearing where they feel and where we feel.
Head coach Nick Sirianni hints at new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio needing players that fit his scheme as a big part of why the defense could potentially lose key players that don't mesh with Vic Fangio's defensive philosophy. And it seems like Haason Reddick may not be the guy that fits with new defensive coordinator.
I think it's important that Vic had, some of his guys that he's worked with before and that know his system and know the things that he requires. And so there's a reason, why there's some change there on the defensive side, because he needed some guys that were familiar with that.
Where do you land on with Haason Reddick's future with the Eagles, knowing that there's going to be a business decision that has to be made this whole season?
Obviously, we'll see how that plays out. I don't know how that will play out. Obviously, Hassan's been awesome for us these last 2 years. Big reason why we've been to the playoffs the last 2 years is the contributions of Haason. He's played really outstanding football. So, we'll see how that plays out, and hopefully he's an Eagle.
Reports of Haason Reddick likely to be traded to the Cardinals or the Falcons. The Cardinals actually make a ton of sense because former defensive coordinator of the Eagles, Jonathan Gannon, coached Reddick the year he had his breakout season. He is now the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And to be quite honest, Haason Reddick made a huge mistake signing a 3-year deal in free agency. And here is why. If he signs a 1-year deal in 2022, Haason Reddick would have hit the jackpot in the 2023 free agency. coming off a breakout season with 19 and a half sacks. But obviously that didn't happen, and Haason Reddick would end the 2023 season with only 11 sacks and less leverage as he enters the final year of his deal. Losing Reddick would be devastating. Anytime you lose an edge rusher, it hurts because these guys are extremely valuable. Young star Bryce Huff and drafting Nolan Smith in 2023, the writing was always on the wall for Haason Reddick. It truly sucks because Haason Reddick is a fan favorite and an absolute beast. I wish him well, and hopefully we can work something out.
And just when you think the Haason Reddick drama couldn't get any more crazier, it did. During a press conference, Jeffrey Lurie dropped bombshells regarding the Haason Reddick contract situation.
What are your thoughts right now on Hassan's situation?
You know, I really wouldn't want to talk about any player, no matter who, under contract to our team or another team, and I'll let that play itself out. We don't have any games for, 5 more months. That'll play itself out. He's, by the way, a terrific player, great person, great background in Philadelphia, and I just see it'll play itself out in a very good way.
At this point, with so many conflicting reports, hearing Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie say the situation will play out in a very good way is extremely encouraging. But does that necessarily mean Reddick is returning? With reports of the Eagles seeking a second-round pick for Haason Reddick, who knows what Lurie could actually mean by his statements?
Of the 2023 training camp, Haason Reddick everybody knows Haason Reddick, he wanted a new deal. All right. You looking at a guy with 19 and a half sacks his first year in Philly and 11 and a half last year. So I don't really think Haason Reddick is worth the amount of money that he wants. He's 30. He's going to be 30. And he wants $25 million a year. The Philadelphia Eagles were not willing to dish that out. And that makes sense. And again, this all falls on Haason Reddick. This all falls on Haason Reddick. This all falls on Haason Reddick. Haason Reddick made a huge mistake. If Haason Reddick signs initially with the Philadelphia Eagles on a 1-year deal, he would have been coming into the 2023 free agency the hottest player on the market with 19 and a half sacks. I don't get it. Haason Reddick did business, okay? Now you get traded. You didn't get a new deal. You didn't get a new deal, Haason Reddick. And you're going to be entering free agency next year. Bro, you could have done this the first time you hit free agency. Haason Reddick could have Haason Reddick could have easily signed with the Eagles for a 1-year prove-it deal. He would have been the highest paid pass rusher. But he signed a 3-year deal. And Howie's like, hey, man, this is the deal that you signed, right? And nobody wanted to move on from Haason Reddick. Nobody wanted to move on from Haason Reddick. The dude had, 40 sacks in 2 years? Well, let me look at it. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. Wait, let me just check real quick because you looking at a guy as Haason Reddick. He is he's a one-trick pony. Okay, he's going to be 30. There is some drawbacks that he have in his game. All players aren't perfect. All players are not perfect. But his contributions to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, we've watched him wreck games. Like he completely destroys a whole. I mean, he can win you games. So he's a different type of talent. I just wish he would have signed for a 1-year prove-it deal. His market, I don't know. We probably would never have. Okay, here's the thing. We probably can't afford. We just can't afford a sign. Okay, and when that's what it all boils down to. The Philadelphia Eagles can't afford him, honestly. And he's asking for $25 million a year. But if you really look at it, he's worth it. He's worth it for what the value he brings to the. I'll put it to you this way. Imagine the Philadelphia Eagles without Haason Reddick in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. What happens? It's going to be a much competitive game for sure. He single-handedly he catapulted us to the Super Bowl, right? He doesn't get he's the only reason we beat the 49ers is because of Haason Reddick. He's worth his money, and Howie just couldn't do it. And again, you have to take account into Vic Fangio. Okay, we have to talk about Vic Fangio. It's a really good chance. Vic Fangio is the reason Haason Reddick isn't here. And here's why. Eagles DC Vic Fangio did not want Reddick. He does not fit his scheme. Okay. Nick Sirianni came out and spoke on this. He pretty much said that the defense is going to look different because they want to get Vic Fangio his pieces, the type of players he wants. Okay, they didn't do it with Sean Desai. They didn't get Sean Desai his pieces, and you see what happened. So they're kind of giving a lot of control to their coordinators, and they rightfully so. If you want me to implement a defense, give me the pieces of what I need to do so. And I truly think Haason Reddick he didn't fit the scheme. And they you just kick the can down the line to see if you can potentially get a second round pick. But a third round pick for Haason Reddick is good business. A third round pick for Haason Reddick is good. I'll take that. I'll take it. It becomes a second round pick if Reddick has 67%. If he has more than 67% play time, so he has to be playing, right? And he has to have 10 or more sacks. If he does, we're actually betting on Haason Reddick to succeed, because if Haason Reddick succeeds, he still ends up helping the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, so I think it's a win-win situation. This may have it was going to be a process to where I think this is a good way for the Philadelphia Eagles to get out of a situation to where this can be a bad, like a sore, a bad way to end. You look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson when he left, it was messy, right? With Haason Reddick, it's not. With Haason Reddick, it's good business. I mean, from a business perspective, I feel like both sides won, and this was a fair deal for the Jets, Haason, and the Eagles. Everybody won in this scenario. The Philadelphia Eagles already have they drafted Nolan Smith last year, and then they went and got Bryce Huff. So they have their pass rushers for the future. And Haason Reddick, he wants his money. Simple as that. And he wants his money. He's essentially on a 1-year prove-it deal. Like, Haason Reddick could have did that with Philly the first year. Philly got a home discount. Philly got a discount on him. That's what it was. They got him into a 3-year deal. He got to play where he was. But this dude's you have to respect Haason Reddick, okay? And I said 19. I said how many sacks? I think I said 40 sacks or something. I was tripping. But he had 19 and a half sacks his first year, playoffs included, with the Eagles. And then followed it up with 11 and a half. Okay, so come on, man. You talk about a guy with 30 or more sacks in 2 seasons, and you trading him, like, bro, but I mean, the value is fair. This could potentially become a second round pick. And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles wanted down the line. Now you don't get that until 2026, right? But still, it's not like it was a 2024 pick. That everybody wins here. Okay, everybody wins here in this situation. Haason Reddick wins because he gets to test free agency next year, right? And he, rightfully so. He deserves his money. He really do. He really deserves to be paid. And the Eagles win because they get some compensation for him, and that's a hefty contract, potential hefty contract off the books. Now you don't have to pay a pass rusher because you got some young ones, right? That's part of the cap where you gotta, now Devontae Smith, it's Devontae Smith. He definitely is in line to be extended. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles have money, right? So everything is working pretty well in my estimation. Everything's working well in my estimation. I feel like this is a win-win situation for both parties. And it sucks to see Haason Reddick go, because I mean, he won us a game. He won us, the NFC Championship game. He catapulted us to the Super Bowl. This one is tough. This one is really tough, okay? But I think the Philadelphia Eagles, I just like it because this is one of those rare situations to where I see every party wins in this. The Jets, they got Haason Reddick. Oh my God. And we got Bryce Huff. So we pretty much just, we swapped pass rushers in a way, right? So I mean, I see good business being done from Howie and everybody. Honestly, I feel like this is I think it's good on all ends. There's no real drawbacks, honestly, besides because Hassan Reddick when he entered free agency in 2022, coming to the Philadelphia Eagles, I feel like he just wanted a contract, But he how he paid him, but it was a discount. How he paid him, it was like a hometown discount. Reddick's like none of that. Right. Nah, I need mine. You look at what I've done my whole career, especially my two years. And I'm betting on Hassan Reddick to have a crazy year with the Jets. This Hassan Reddick with the Jets. Yo, you know what? That's a whole pivot. Hassan Reddick with the Jets. Sauce Gardner. Bro, that's the best defense in the NFL. I'm booking it right now. And I don't know what's going on. Okay. But Hassan Reddick makes the Jets. We played the Jets. And that was our worst game offensively the entire year. That was our worst offensive performance. The Jets really did a number on us. Okay. But Reddick, oh my God, man. Reddick makes the Jets Super Bowl definitely whoa. And I just thought about that now, live. That's a crazy sight. Whoa, bro. If Aaron Rodgers back and healthy, that defense over there, man. It'll be crazy. With they have a lot of pieces over there. I think they're becoming the favorite. Someone said, where was the 11 sacks the last 6 games? I mean, you could ask where's the play calling, where's the defensive coordinator, where's the Philadelphia Eagles as a whole those last 6 games? I mean, everything was bad those last 6 games. I can go on and on. So he did. I mean, Hassan Reddick, he has to get on a streak, right? You look at the last 2 years he's played for us. His first year with us, he started off slow, and they're like, "What the hell? Who is this guy?" Hassan Reddick isn't doing anything. This was like the first 2 or 3 games, and after he got his first sack, dude just lit the whole. I mean, he was just on fire that whole year. So with Hassan Reddick, bro, your defense have to be in a rhythm, man. For it has to be, and our defense was not like that ever, at all. So once you have to, and you need the court. You have to figure out. You got to get him. You got to have him ready to go, bro. So that entails play calling, all type of other different things. But if he don't start off fast, or even if you don't see him, he's going to have streaks where he's not getting sacks. I'm gonna be honest with you. But that's where the coaching staff comes in and says, "Hey, let's figure out how to get Hassan Reddick in these games, right, and being more active." Blaming the defensive failures on Reddick is ridiculous. You change coordinators in the middle of the season. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily blame the defensive failures on Reddick, but you blame everybody. Reddick has fault in this as well. You fault everybody. Our leadership core let us down last year. Reddick was a part of it, so he's gone now. I don't know about the leadership core. I don't know about that. Since Reddick can't play linebacker and defensive end, he had to go. I get it. It sucks that he's gone, but with 300 less snaps, they had almost the exact same number. So we got the younger and cheaper. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, bro. We got a guy that was younger and cheaper, and the Jets, they feel an immediate need. So bro, this just fits so well. There's no
this whole entire deal, it was a good deal for all parties, honestly. That's a great trade to the Jets. It's a great trade for everybody in general, I think. We still have guys on defense. Yeah, we do. Overreacting. Hold on, guys, for a second. New Eagles fan. I'm not going to have the best defense in their league. What? New Eagles fans. I'm not going to have the best defense in their league. I'm telling you, you can't. I don't know what you trying to say, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah, that's part of the risk. Yeah, you gotta take the good. The Phillies choked. No way the Phillies lost. That's funny. There's always next year. Yeah, I know, bro. My bad, bro. My fault. Let's see. Plus, they got to pay Reddick now. No, they really don't, because after the 1 year, they can. They don't have to, honestly. If they don't want to pay him, he could walk in free agency. So, yeah, the Eagles we're still paying him. He's still on our contract. So, I mean, he's still playing under the Eagles contract. Yeah, glad we got Saquon, because we're gonna need to run the ball to win. Defense won't be able to stop the run. Our defense might be bad, honestly. Like, we're steady trying to figure this thing out on defense and rebuild. And man, I hope Vic Fangio can do something. Okay, but he has the pieces. Okay, he has all the pieces to have a top 5 defense. For sure. I mean, I have a lot of faith in Vic Fangio. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jets paying $14.5 million of Reddick's cap hit. Let me see. All right. It says Haason Reddick does not have a new deal with the Jets and is now entering the last year of his contract. He doesn't have a new deal. And if he does not have a new deal with the Jets, I mean, that's what because you're gonna have to pay him. So the cap hit this year, all right, we know what the cap hit is going to be for Haason Reddick, but next year the cap hit can be well, even down the line when you pay him, right? His future cap hit is going to be really interesting when you look at a guy that's going to be 31, 32, 33, right? It's like, I feel like he still has some good ball left in him at those ages. I think he's still. I think dude's gonna be around for. I would give Haason Reddick. I think Haason Reddick has one more contract in him. He definitely does. Yeah, he has another contract in him. After that, it's now you're kind of. I mean, if he goes out and have a crazy year, yeah, you gotta pay him. You gotta pay him. You got to. So what's his cap? What's his projected cap hit? Man, um, I know some deals like the first year of a new deal, the cap hit isn't huge, but it's going to be, it's definitely going to become. It all depends on how you orchestrate the deal, but who knows? I think he can, if he can get a deal 25 million a year, bro, he would have broke the bank at that point. So all Haason Reddick has to do, and I'm rooting for him, because if he plays a certain amount of games, a percentage of games, and has 10 or more sacks, which I know he's going to have 10 sacks, bro, we get a second round pick. And that's what if we couldn't get a second for him, we were not going to let go of Haason Reddick. So that we did value him, right? So this is potentially, but how they broke Howie. Look, they kind of gave Howie a hard time and saying, "Hey, bro, we're not giving you a second for this guy," right? So that's when it kind of it may have escalated from there, and somebody had to budge, right? I feel like this was a deal that was in the works for quite some time, because Bryce Huff was, they were already talking, about the Bryce Huff trade. Okay, so the Eagles get Bryce Huff, and during those times, they had to have still been in discussion with the Haason Reddick thing, and nobody was willing to budge. I feel like, and no one even knew it would have been the Jets. It was reports about the Cardinals, and right, that didn't play out. So there was no reports about the Jets. I think they were already talking about this, and they were not willing to budge the two, but essentially how we would have kept Haason Reddick, bro, if he couldn't get the possibility of a second. If they're talking about just a clear-cut third round, no, I don't think it was happening. So they, both sides, and they know, like, I think, and the Jets had to have known that either the Eagles wanted to move on from Haason, or Haason wasn't happy there, or was trying to, get paid. Haason Reddick was probably just trying to get paid. So I think the Jets knew some was going on between the two, to where they can use that to their advantage in negotiations, right? So that's kind of why it wasn't a clear-cut second, And I think the league, or whoever was interested in a pass rusher and Haason Reddick, they kind of knew. They kind of knew this. And what do you think about Dak Prescott? Hey, Dak Prescott sucks, man. The Dallas Cowboys finally figured that out. They're not going to extend him. He's going to walk in free agency. I mean, this is essentially kind of what Haason Reddick is doing with the Jets, outside of the trade, because we know Dak didn't get traded, but he's betting on himself with this 1-year deal, right? Dak is betting on himself, and if Dak has a crazy year, he's testing free agency, I believe. I think he gets out of there, or because you're going to have to pay him way too much money. So, I mean, Dak, I think Dak is ass, bro. I coined the phrase Dak ass, Scott. He's trash, bro. He's ass. I mean, what do we do in the playoffs? What does Dak Prescott do in the playoffs? He chokes every time. I mean, he's horrific in big situations. I mean, he's always had the roster around him to succeed. He's just never gotten the Cowboys over the hump. And Jerry Jones, like, I'm done, bro. I can't deal with Dak no more. And they're kicking the can, and they have Trey Lance. The writing was on the wall. The writing's always on the wall. It's the same with Haason Reddick when they brought in Bryce Huff, okay, and drafted Nolan Smith. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys, they went and traded for Trey Lance. I mean, what is it? Trey Lance? Yeah, he was a top 5 pick at quarterback, and so they just went and grabbed. It was like, whoa. The writing's always on the wall with these guys, okay? It's same with Haason Reddick. You go get draft Nolan Smith and then bring in Bryce Huff.
right? So there's always you always kind of see it, has starting to happen, and it's happened with Dak, and and it happened. It hadn't happened with Haason Reddick as well. Dak is a bit different because again, he's not being traded. He wasn't traded, but everything else is kind of go hand in hand. They're both on pretty much a 1-year deal. Even if I don't get it, bro, because Haason Reddick could have stayed with the Eagles, and they could have essentially been a 1-year prove it deal. I'll pay you next year. For Haason Reddick to not stay on okay, I'm gonna play this last year out on my contract, and then you guys can pay me next year. I mean, if I'm Howie, I'm not budging. I'm not paying you, bro. I've done everything for you at that point. I'm not budging. But it's clear to me that Haason Reddick, he's trying to test free agency, I guess. I mean, but dude, it's weird, bro. It's weird. It's weird. That's now this is something I'm just talking about it live and kind of brainstorming with Haason Reddick. Bro could have just stayed here for that, but I think the Eagles were done. I think the Eagles were definitely done. Yeah, the Eagles were done. I don't think he fits Vic Fangio's scheme. I think the Eagles and Haason Reddick came out and said that he wants to stay here with the Eagles, but I think the Eagles were ready to move on from Haason. I think the Eagles were ready to move on from him. Okay. And Nick Sirianni came out and spoke on Vic Fangio and how his scheme, was a bit he didn't fit Vic. He said certain players are not going to be here because of the change in defensive coordinator. I'm paraphrasing, but I played it earlier in the live stream. I don't even like Dak, but he's going to shred this Swiss cheese defense. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Like he did. I don't know about all that, bro. I don't know. Dak Prescott. We've beaten Dak Prescott. We beat him last year. We split with him last year, so it's not like it's not competitive against us. All right. I mean, and he's had our number. Why? Because our defense has just been bad. Okay. Simple as that. But it hasn't been the easy sled. Well, we haven't really seen Dak Prescott. The Super Bowl, our Super Bowl run, we didn't really see him. We did see him, but we didn't have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We didn't have a lot of pieces. Right? I'm making excuses, but to have. Wait, I'm gonna see if I could play what. I want to play what. Yeah, I want to hear Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni said something extremely interesting. Okay, and I was paraphrasing it, but I completely botched it. So I'm gonna let you guys hear it. I'm gonna let you guys hear what he says about Vic Fangio's scheme and how certain players they don't fit if they don't fit his scheme. So there's going to be changes. You don't know how good the defense will be. Nobody knows, really. Nobody knows. This is just all speculation based off what we believe and what we've seen. And honestly, I think the Philadelphia Eagles defense would be fine. Honestly, I think they have a lot of young pieces, and I think it's a perfect blend. I think I think our defense now with the hip drop tackle stuff, defense as a whole is going to take a regression because that's a crazy element of defense you're taking out of the game that benefits the offense. So
the defense should regress. The entire NFL, every team's defense in the NFL should regress. Okay, because of that. So there's going to be some regression just due to tackling. The Eagles aren't a good tackling team. So I know they're going to have to work on that. But I think they have a shot. They have enough young pieces to, they have a lot of pieces. I like what they got. We got Devin White. I'm really high on the line. We got a linebacker. We got a linebacker, proven linebacker, young linebacker. I'm excited about that. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's back. We got Bradbury in a better system. And we got Darius Slade, and Vic Fangio's system and his scheme. I feel like he's going to make everybody better. So I'm really just betting on our defensive coordinator here. Okay. And saying he's going to have our defense looking much better. Love Philly, but I've always said I would never live there again. Maybe he wanted out. I don't know, man, about that. He's born and raised there.
Guys that he's worked with before and that know his system. And
all right, but let's listen to Nick Sirianni.
Important that Vic had, some of his guys that he's worked with before and that know his system and know the things that he requires. And so there's a reason, why there's some change there on the defensive side, because he needed some guys that were familiar with that.
Land on with Haason Reddick.
Vic Fangio needed guys that was familiar with his system, man. This happens all the time when you change defensive coordinators. They didn't get Deshaun. They did not give Sean Desai his pieces. So, I mean, what do we? You got to give your new defensive coordinators the things that he needs to succeed. They did not do that with Sean Desai. Right now, they're going to do it with Vic Fangio, of course. Right? Come on, man. I think Vic Fangio should have always been our coordinator, but Sean Desai, he was well, let's start with Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, having lied to everybody, screwed up the timeline, and Vic Fangio and the Eagles thinking that he was going to stay. So Vic went and got a job with the Dolphins. But the whole time, this man, Jonathan Gannon, is really going to leave and join the Cardinals. So now we don't have a defensive coordinator because this motherfucker. Right? So now we got to settle in with Sean Desai. Okay? And he's a disciple of Vic Fangio, or whatever. But they didn't want to give him his pieces. So maybe he was just keeping a seat warm for Vic Fangio. Because Fangio was in the building the year we won the Super Bowl. It's like some type of consultant, right? He was going to take over. I think he was set to take over when Jonathan Gannon left. But yeah, I think that was a debacle, man. I promise you that was so crazy. So now we've got him back here, right? I think we'll be fine. You just got to give him his pieces. And Haason Reddick, I just don't think Haason Reddick was a piece that they valued, especially with Vic's scheme. And I haven't even taken a deeper dive into our coordinators. I'm gonna do more, and I'm gonna create some content or whatever, and we're gonna dissect that as well. But I mean, I see it all the time in the NFL, so I've seen this like plenty of times. So I mean, it's kind of obvious. But look, I want you guys to listen to our owner, bro. Our owner just lied right in our face. He said this is gonna. Well, he didn't really lie, but again, he came out and gave. Jeffrey Lurie made it seem as though Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles were going to re-sign Haason Reddick. I knew it was BS. I knew it. I knew it was BS. I knew it.
I really wouldn't want to talk about any player, no matter who, under contract to our team or another team, and I'll let that play itself out. We don't have any games for 5 more months. That'll play itself out. He's, by the way, a terrific player, great person, great background in Philadelphia, and I just see it'll play itself out in a very good way.
At this point, with so many conflicting
A
reports
very good way. It will play itself out in a very good way. Come on, bro. Like, and people were really look, it's like there was so many every time one little piece of news come out, it was everybody was like, oh, he's being traded. Oh, and it was just like, man, can we just let this play out? Golly, it's like it's annoying, man. It's like, man. But it was always looking like to me he was gonna be. At first, honestly, okay, we gotta take a step back. Because even with Josh Sweat, you know, his future was kind of up in the air as well. You know, they gave him just all his money guaranteed for a year. So it's like, whoa. And Haason Reddick has, permission to seek a trade. So it's like, whoa, we could lose both of our pass rushers right now. So yeah, it was like everybody was for sure it was Josh Sweat. And then everybody was for sure it was Haason Reddick. Then everybody was for sure Haason Reddick was going to stay because just based off what the owner said. And wow, right out of nowhere, he's traded. And it's like, okay, cool. It's over. Golly, it was just so annoying, man. Honestly, it's like every day on the news feed, some with these guys. It's like, okay, can we just get this over? Okay. But there's still a chance that he could have stayed, I believe, right? So it was nobody really knew. But I was trying to I wanted to wait to just see how it would play out and how it was going to manifest. And it played out right on time when I was like, okay, boom, there we go. All right. Get like right. So I didn't have to, do so many updates. It was Haason Reddick. It's like, let's just see how this is going. All right. But Jeffrey Lurie, he had everybody thinking Haason Reddick was coming out because it was coming back. Because when he said things will play out in a very good way, you can interpret that as literally anything. I think it played out in a very good way. Honestly, I really think it does. But there's plausible deniability, or there's always room to kind of interpret what Jeffrey Lurie was saying differently from everybody. Right. So a lot of people felt like Jeffrey Lurie saying this will play out in a very good way may have meant that he was coming back. I never believed that at all. Never believed it. When I heard it, I'm like, nah, I don't believe it. I didn't believe it. I knew that kind of scared me. Because I'm like, whoa, hold on, man, what?
What are your thoughts right now on Hassan's situation?
I really wouldn't want to talk about any player, no matter who, under contract to our team or another team, and I'll let that play itself out. We don't have any games for 5 more months. That'll play itself out. He's, by the way, a terrific player, great person, great background in Philadelphia, and I just see it'll play itself out in a very good way.
At this
in a very good way. Now, Howie Roseman's comments about Haason Reddick was more. I got a bit more out of that. I kind of felt with when just listening to Howie Roseman when he said the biggest thing is communication. I'm like, oh yeah, if you ain't communicating in contract negotiations, then it's probably a wrap, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah. That was kind of scary. Like, bro, what you mean communication? Are you guys not communicating? Okay. And I'm like, whoa. So, yeah, that's what made me kind of feel like I feel like it was over then in a way, I
Did you not just bring up changing coordinators yet? When it comes to Reddick, you made that. Wait, hold on, wait. I'm reading the comments backwards. Well, I don't know if you're referring to. Based on like a talent on defense is going to be bad. Oh, depending on young, unproven players and rookies. We tried that last year. How did it work? I mean, it's a different coordinator on our defense. It's a different defensive coordinator, and that does. I mean, the coordinators are huge, man. I mean, I don't think people really realize how important coaching is in the NFL. You need the right people. You need the right defensive coordinators who can put players in positions to make a lot of plays, bro. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, the coordinator. Oh yeah. Oh, that's okay. I see. I see what's going on in the comment section now. That's my thoughts on Haason Reddick. I think everybody wins. The Jets, Haason Reddick, and Philadelphia Eagles. I think everybody wins in this deal. It's unfortunate everybody's sad right now because it is Haason Reddick, but I think we're fine. And best of luck and best of wishes to Haason Reddick. I hope he has a fantastic year because then we'll get a second round draft pick and he'll get paid because he deserves it. He's definitely like that. This is the Voice of the Eagles show. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles.